Boom! So I guess VidCon is coming to a close, and a lot of the stories are starting to come out now. I guess Ricegum got kicked out of fucking something. I don't even know. Apparently Jenna Marbles decided to lock herself in her fucking room and is like refusing to leave. I don't really know what's going on with that. Crazy shit going on at fucking VidCon. But Anita's still there, still doing panels, and this one is about cyberbullying. And I see that there's a problem with it, but it's in one specific area, and a person on the panel addresses that, and I want to watch that. But I also see like some of the ridiculousness of what people say about what they can and can't do about it. So I would like to go over that as well. And then of course Anita speaks, and man, is it always fucking hysterical when Anita just says pretty much anything. So we're gonna I don't know why I've started doing this. I turned down my TV so that I can see a difference in the waveforms for when I'm editing. So it's easy for me to edit. And I don't know why all of a sudden, recently in the past couple of weeks, I've started turning down. Why am I even telling you guys this? Let's watch the fucking thing.
I've always been able to handle that kind of thing. But when it comes to threats to my family or threats to my dog, they're going to poison my dog, they took a hit out for my life on the Tor network, or sending a box of feces to my house, that to me is what I consider to be cyberbullying. I don't know if we can ever end it, but boy, I really wish you guys would end it. Please, thank you.
Now, see, I don't know who that guy is, and I don't know, why people would be putting hits out on him, and I whatever. But that's the problem. That he highlights the problem beautifully. Don't make threats against people. Don't threaten people's lives. Don't threaten people's animals. Don't threaten people's fucking family. It's just not fucking necessary. The only way that it's even possibly acceptable if somebody comes out and says, yeah, I don't care if anybody gets raped. I hope every woman gets raped. Fuck that shit. And then if you say, well, I hope your wife is one of those women that gets raped, or I hope your mother is one of those women that gets raped, that's almost fine. You know what I mean? Because it's, that's a perfectly acceptable response. You think all women should be raped? Well, fuck, your mother's going to be one of those too, right? So, that's fine. But for somebody to say, I think every man should be a feminist, the appropriate response isn't really, well, I hope you drink bleach and die. Like, that... It doesn't do anything good for anybody. It certainly doesn't do good for you because you just look like a piece of shit. It doesn't do good for the person who's doing it because that's just going to embolden them more. It's going to, we don't work in a society now where you threaten somebody and they back down. Nowadays, you threaten somebody and generally what you hear is, I don't really react very well to threats. Right before things just get worse. So... it isn't helping anything. It isn't doing any good. And when you do it on behalf of, other people, I gotta tell you, those people don't appreciate it. They don't think that you're cool for it more often than not because it makes them look bad. You're making them look bad. You're making the person that you idolize so much that you're willing to threaten somebody else's life for, you're making them look bad. And that's just, there's no point to it. So he has amazingly good points there. That shit needs to stop. Stop fucking threatening people. You can disagree with somebody. I don't even care if you call them a cunt. You can call them bad names. If you seriously think that the best comment that you can come up with is, well, I think you're a stupid cunt. Well, alright, fine, whatever. But if you have to tag on to that fucking, and I hope your dog dies of dysentery, that...
I think the whole argument of saying, oh, just close your laptop, just walk away, go outside, that doesn't work because we live in a world and a society where the internet is so connected to our actual real lives and you can't separate them anymore. It's not like you have your real life and then you have an internet life. It's like your work is connected that way, your social life is connected that way, and we need to start thinking of it as one thing rather than these separate things. And so then when you just say just walk away from it, that doesn't work because it's just such a part of your life. So that response just never like makes any sense to me.
All right. Apparently this woman has her phone surgically fucking attached to her body somehow, to where she cannot just not fucking pay attention to it. I don't understand. I don't know who this person is. I have no fucking clue. I don't know what business she's in. I don't know what she does. But unless her business is literally like reading comments on whatever, you can get away from it. You can. You can decide to not watch YouTube one day. You can decide to not look at Twitter one day, or Facebook, or fucking Minds, or any of that shit. You can also decide that you're not going to look at any of them collectively. You can just ignore the whole fucking thing. You can do it. It is possible. You just don't. You don't fucking do it. But if you decided to make your business commenting on fucking shit or saying fucking inflammatory things, yeah, you're probably not going to get away from it. But that isn't the fault of the people who are watching and being upset by you. It's your fucking fault. Choose a new business. It's not the only fucking job out there. Like, if you don't like it, don't do it. You can't seriously sit there and be like, I'm going to call you all fucking racist. All you white people. I'm just going to call all you white people racist. That's going to be my platform. White people are racist. You can't say that and seriously expect that somebody's not going to disagree with you. And when you're making generalized statements like that, you're not going to just get one guy who gets voted in by the whole fucking race to be the person that interacts with you. Everybody's going to take their shot. Fucking, you're retarded. Like,
I think when it comes to the idea of bullying, I think we have a very specific idea in our heads when we hear the word bully at all. And we forget that bullying is really like targeted harassment. So for me, there's nothing wrong with you having an opinion or a critique of what I'm doing, right? Because if I'm putting it out there, like, I am inviting a conversation if the comments are open, right? But
I just want to stop it right here because that's fucking hysterical. That lady is sitting on a panel with Anita Sarkeesian, and she's sitting there going, I want to have a debate, I want to talk, you know, my comments are open.
there's a difference to me in taking it the extra step of, here's my opinion, here's how much I hate you on every single platform you're on daily. Like, bullying is kind of a way of trying to quiet a voice or trying to make someone fear speaking up about something that they feel is important. And I think when we think bully, we think of this very childish kind of like, just get over it, just get tough skin, just, you know, your feelings. And so much that I think of what we've all experienced is not so much about saying words that hurt. Like, I'm not sitting here with my feelings hurt. I've been on the internet long enough to take whatever it is you want to say. It's really when it comes to my safety. Like, my empathy is open to the point that my safety is in jeopardy, my family's safety is in jeopardy. Having an opinion about an experience that I have directly means that someone could show up to my house. Like, that you have to start making decisions about, is the thing that I think I need to say worth saying, or does it affect my life?
Yeah, and that is, you know, like, people shouldn't have to be afraid to say what they believe. It's the craziest thing in the world to me. Like, I get hate, you know, every once in a while I'll get somebody that, like, but they're usually funny to me, because, like, I'll get, everybody always upset that I sound like I'm drunk. I apparently sound like I'm terribly drunk all the time. I don't get it, whatever. But, so, I have fibromyalgia. It's one of the side effects is slurring of speech. But, like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of the way I am a lot, and you know, I smoke cigarettes. I do smoke cigarettes, so, you know, I am addicted. But don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Anyways, going on. So, like, I got one that was fucking awesome. I laughed so hard. It was like 5 lines long. It was pretty long for a comment on a video. And it started off with, "You're so stupid, you sound like you're drunk." And then it was all like Twitter spelling of fucking words. Like you was just you, and like the words that were spelled out completely were like spelled wrong. And there was no punctuation whatsoever. And there was like points where it was running on, where it was like they started to say a point this way, and then they ended the point in a different way, but they never actually explained the point. So it was like the beginning and then the ending, but you missed it was fucking hysterical. And it was, "You fucking stupid, you sound like you're drunk, and I fucking think this, that." That's the way it read to me. And my response to it was, "Great comment," and then I put a little smiley face. Because I thought that was fantastic. It made me laugh so hard. Never heard anything back from that guy. You know what I mean? But like, I like that kind of shit, but it makes me giggle. And if somebody's like that and they're threatening me or telling me to kill myself, I don't really care. It just makes them look stupid. But that's the thing. It makes you look stupid. You know what I mean? Like, don't make yourself look stupid. You know, Jesus Christ, because then it's so much easier for everybody else to make you look stupid. But yeah, I don't really get a lot of hate. You know what I mean? And none of it's really serious. I get people who argue with me. I don't consider that hate. And I'll fucking argue with people. There's a couple of people that I have gone back and forth with to the point now where I just kind of don't bother. Because there's honestly only so much time I can spend on everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting more subscribers. I'm getting more, like, my average views is going up. And I'm getting a lot more comments now. So, I try my best to keep up. But, like, usually the only thing I can really do with a lot of stuff is just throw the thumbs up. You know, if you have a comment on one of my videos and there's 1 thumbs up, that was probably me. And if you have no thumbs up, you should really examine what it was you said. Because I also didn't thumbs up yours. You know what I mean? Like, so, whatever. But, yeah. So, I try my best to interact with everybody. And the thing that, like, I'm starting to notice is I'm getting, like, creepy girls. Like, I'm getting some creepy girls. Like, and it's not even really like it's creepy like anybody would think it's creepy. Because I'm sure there are a lot of, it seems like it's almost a thing. Like, there's terminology. I'm starting to get called daddy, but I watch Toon, and everybody calls him daddy, and then I see daddy on other. So it's almost like that's like an inside joke that I'm not a part of. I don't call anybody daddy on YouTube, because But, like, so, I'm getting that kind of shit. And, like, I get some aggressively sexual comments that I'm kind of like... So, honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm not afraid of people who hate me coming after me and hurting me. I'm afraid of people that like me maybe too much coming after me and hurting me. Like, that's what scares me. So, I don't know. Like, there's a difference there, but it's still kind of the same thing, so, but I'm not saying that anybody's doing anything bad. Believe me, if I really was creeped out to the point, that's why I don't, I don't engage, because I figure I'm just, you say whatever you want to, and I'm not going to engage, because I don't want to come off as taking it overly serious if it's just a joke, and I don't want to encourage you if it's serious. So it's like, but I imagine the whole daddy thing, I imagine that's like a weird girl thing that you girls think gets us horny for you or something. I don't know. I'm not used to really getting hit on. I've never been hit on, but maybe on by like 2 girls really in my life. Yeah, I'm usually the one doing the picking up. I'm usually the one working. So, it's odd for me too. I'm not used to it. So, but I'm not going to make videos about how some girl said, God, I want to suck your cock, daddy, and it really upset me. It's awesome, keep that shit coming. It's just, I can't engage because...
I want to echo what you're talking about in terms of language. I don't even like the word cyberbullying. I think that it's think it's too easy to think of bullying as like a thing that kids do on the schoolyard and like sticks and stones, blah blah blah. Trolling is a specific thing that is used incorrectly all the time. It is what we are talking about is targeted harassment, and I think we need to use the language of the things that we're talking about, and that's one of the first steps in actually working to end harassment and to end the targeted harassment of women, people of color, queer folks, anyone who is of any like intersection of oppression has experienced some level of harassment online because of who they are, not because of what they're saying or what they're doing necessarily. And I think, you know, going back to the original question, like, you gotta be super privileged to ever be like, well, there's no harassment online, either because you've never experienced it or you're choosing to ignore it and you're in spaces where you're not seeing that happen. Because it is a sad reality of digital space and online space that we are targets of harassment constantly, whether it's just one hateful message every now and again or a mob that's been going after you for years and years and years. So it's, you know, like, it's just dumb. Like, it's just outrightly incorrect to say harassment isn't happening, especially given that I have sat on a panel called this and paneled about this so many fucking times, and we're still here, right? We're still trying to justify that we're being abused and harassed online, and this is real.
All right. Now, here's where I'm going to quote mine. I showed you the whole fucking thing. That was all of what Anita said. This is the only part I'm going to dice up. That's it. But I am going to kind of quote mine because some of the things I think she says are very funny.
Anyone who is of any like intersection of oppression has experienced some level of harassment online because of who they are, not because of what they're saying or what they're doing necessarily. And I think, you know,
I would agree that that happens. I would agree that there's racist people that just get on and think that that's a good enough argument. Sure. And when you're getting into higher audience sizes, you're going to get more and more of those people. Yeah. But those people should just be ignored because they're not bringing anything to the conversation. Why even give them the time of day? Why even give them a realistic thought? You know what I mean? Like, who cares what those people think? Just don't pay attention to that shit. But, you know, it is what you're saying that's starting it all. There are people who disagree with you because of whatever, and they're wrong to do that because that's not a good argument. But it's what you're saying. You're saying that all white people are racist. Like, hashtag not all. What happened to that? You're saying that all men are sexist. You're saying that all cisgendered people are transphobic. You know, all that shit. You make those wild claims. And you honestly don't think that people are going to be upset. Like, that boggles my fucking... I don't understand how you could be so dense. It is what you're saying. You're saying hateful things to people, and you're getting hateful responses. Why that amazes you, I still cannot fathom.
Like, you gotta be super privileged to ever be like, well, there's no harassment online, either because you've never experienced it, or you're choosing to ignore it. And
so you admit that you can choose to ignore it, and that's how you achieve the super privilege of not seeing harassment online. Good one, Anita.
you.